Hey guys, it's Mike. I'm back here with part 2 of your Navy questions. The first one was so good, me and Ed decided we better do a second one. First question comes in from Chipotle Mayo. What is basic training in the Navy like? How long is it? How do I prepare myself? So Navy boot camp is actually 10 weeks long at Naval Stations Great Lakes, or as we call in the Navy, Great Mistakes, because they put it in the middle of North Chicago. It's 10 weeks. You do PT, you do drill, you learn how to shoot certain guns. Culminates with battle stations at the end. So the way that it actually works is the first 5 days is your processing days, kind of where you get to learn your recruit division commanders. You'll start working on the drill and ceremony. Your first PT test is also there. As you're trying to prepare, I recommend you learn how to run long distances. A mile and a half is the culmination. Sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, stuff like that. Throughout the entire time, you'll go through water survival. That's where we see a lot of people struggle because not everybody knows how to swim. They will teach you how to swim. You go through the CS chamber, and everything culminates in a 12-hour event called Battle Stations. It's a simulated ship, and they just do a bunch of damage control. Can't say much about it. We're actually sworn to secrecy, but you're up for 12 straight hours. But if you're a simulated victim and you're on one of the litters, you may be able to catch a quick nap. Next one comes from Fly Spirit Forever. Well, you're kind of out of that loop now that they're out of business. Are there women in the Navy? Never seen a woman on a submarine movie except the hot lieutenant on Down Periscope.
Lieutenant Lake, you're almost out of uniform.
20% of the Navy is actually women. They've been in the Navy for over 100 years. Before 1994, though, they were limited to non-combat roles. 2016, they actually have been allowed on submarines. The USS New Jersey is actually designed with women in mind.
This is an actual Navy submarine, out of floating a parade or something.
In 2021, the first female graduated from Naval Special Warfare. She is now a Special Warfare Combatant Crewman or a SWCC member. Next one comes from @PancakeTaxis. What are some cool Navy slang terms or sayings I can use in everyday life? They will never get away from you. I still say rack, which is a bed. After this video, I'm going to go home and actually rack out because I have to teach another class tomorrow. Deck, floor, scuttlebutt is kind of like just hearsay. Comes from being around the water fountain. That's called a scuttlebutt in the military. Head is your bathroom. Got your six. I got your back. Voluntold. You're being told to do something, but you're also kind of unapologetically being volunteered for it, even though you didn't. Dave voluntells me to do a bunch of stuff around here. Next is This Is Not Skynet. How accurate are movies with Navy uniforms? Don't those white uniforms get consistently dirty?
That white uniform, and with your Harvard mouth, extend me some courtesy.
So it depends on the movie and the show. A lot of shows actually do have military members that will actually help them to make sure that everything's accurate. SEAL Team, the TV show, is probably one of the most accurate ones that I've seen out there. The whites are not really out there anymore. It's more for official functions like your dinner dress and stuff. Anytime that you would wear a black tie would be where you'd see the dress whites. In 2010, the Navy actually got new service uniforms so we can kind of look cooler. They took it kind of from the Marines because the Marines got the best uniforms by far. Next one comes from @Nigerian Tiger Mom. What's the most difficult duty aboard a U.S. Navy ship? How do I avoid doing that?
I want you to climb the periscope and put that lamp up on top of it. You want me to climb all the way up there, sir? I never saw this shit on a recruiting poster.
Well, it honestly depends on what you think is difficult. If you're a machinist mate, hot engine rooms may be difficult. If you're going to be on the flight deck, for some people, death is difficult. The best way to not have one of those difficult jobs, depending on what you want to do, is get a good ASVAB score. Then you can kind of decide your job. Next one is Definitely Not an Athlete. I wonder if they had my picture when they came up with that title. How come U.S. Navy ships don't have more windows? Don't you get claustrophobic?
Would it kill them to put a window in here?
There's nothing to see but black water this far down.
Sometimes you can get claustrophobic. The biggest reason they don't have windows is survivability, stealth, and then damage control. If you have a bunch of windows and water starts coming in, they're not going to be able to stop that water from coming in. If you think of aircraft carriers, they are giant floating cities with 5,000 people on board. It's tough to be claustrophobic when you're in a major city with a bunch of people all around you. Next one comes at Molten Core Swim Team. What is the deal with the Strait of Hormuz? Why isn't it considered international waters? Without getting too political, we can talk just generalized. That strait is not wide. It's only 24 miles wide at its narrowest point. Most countries consider their territorial waters 12 nautical miles from the shore. So with the strait, you got Iran, and then you got Oman on the other side, which equals 12 miles plus 12 miles. Yep, Navy math equals that's 24. Next one comes from at Corporal. He was probably a Marine, couldn't figure out how to spell corporal. How do you get over the fear of possibly being stuck on a sinking ship or being stranded on a desert island or be eaten by sharks?
A life of meager pay with the distinct possibility of dying, slow, cold, and alone, somewhere in the vast sea.
Realize, honestly, it is what it is. The ship sinks. Well, hopefully you got a good damage control team. If you're stranded on a desert island, hopefully it's like Gilligan's Island. You got the professor there and a bunch of coconuts. Eaten by sharks, they'll probably be pretty full after me, so you should be pretty safe. Next one comes from at Navy Beat Army 2025. Guys, that's not the only time Navy beats Army. They beat Army all the time in football. Why does the U.S. Navy not make battleships anymore? I feel like nobody would mess with the U.S. if one of those sailed into your backyard.
You see, battleships are great ships, but they're kind of like dinosaurs. They're designed to take hits, kind of like a floating punching bag.
Well, that's pretty true, and they are large ships. They're basically obsolete. Long range for arms, they're vulnerable. The operation cost is a lot. Better alternatives have come along. Destroyers, frigates, stuff like that. They got missiles that can shoot out hundreds of miles. The battleships, their guns were probably maybe 16 to 20 miles. So they're basically just obsolete. All right, our next one comes from at Skippy Longstocking. How often does the U.S. Navy work with other navies from around the world? It's a constant daily thing. The carrier strike groups, they have other countries involved, France, Italy, the United Kingdom, anti-piracy patrols, exercises. There's actually 2 forward deployed fleets also. The 6th fleet is based in Naples, Italy. The 7th fleet is in Yokosuka, Japan. So they are working with host countries all the time. All right, guys. That is all the questions we have for you today. If you want to send in some more in the comments, I'll happily answer them for you. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, subscribe, check out my first video right up here, comment, and then honestly smash that notification button so you know when you see my smiling face back on YouTube. Go Navy.